Hey everyone, we're back again. And well, first, I want to make sure everyone can hear me because my husband isn't here. So I did this on my own. I want to make sure I did it right. And if not, please let me know right away. And I'm going to be drinking my coffee during this, which I know is frowned upon in pregnancy, but I have had a day, a week, a night. Like, oh my goodness. It has been by far the most stressful week of my entire pregnancy. And I thought, what a good week to share and talk about mental health, mental wellness, and basically how that plays along in pregnancy because it's one, not talked about, and two, it's hard. And I just oh my gosh. Anyway, but Nick told me I have to explain my cigar picture. So obviously I'm pregnant now, so I can't smoke a cigar, even though the day that Nick and I found out I had 2 positive tests, we did smoke one last cigar to celebrate because that is like something that we like to do together. Neither of us smoke or have smoked. Like Nick used to smoke, a long time ago. I've never been a smoker, so that's not something that we like, It's just truly a hobby. And before I became a mom, I golfed on the weekends and we went to the cigar bar and we played chess and we smoked cigars. That's like what we did as adults. And we had our kombucha and every Sunday, we're on the golf course smoking our cigars. It's just like how me and my husband would bond and spend time together. So the picture is me on my honeymoon, actually, in Montana in the mountains, just risking it all, smoking a fat one. So I do miss it. I say it all the time. I miss just the city of enjoying that time with my husband. We do different things now, but haven't been able to golf much either. So anyway, I know that I can't smoke either because I'll be breastfeeding, but oh boy, that first cigar, that head rush that I'm going to get will be worth it. So I don't know if that makes you guys judge me or whatever. I'm a bad person. I don't really drink. I don't really do anything that's bad for your health. So I guess that's my one thing. Guilty pleasure. I don't know. So that's me living my best life. And my friends and my family, like that's how they know me, what I do on the weekends, So you guys know a different me, the mom me, because that's, how I came to be here. But I don't know. That's just my little story about my icon pick or whatever it's called. But I wanted to come on here and share about this week and basically what Nick and I have been going through. And it's really, I like to leave the live chat open to comments and suggestions and advice. And like, I've never been a mom before. And, I have, had experiences like this, but really it's about, other people like giving their tidbits of advice or sending this to people that might know what's going on and, can relate in some way and can share their experiences. And that's really like why I like to talk about this stuff. I'm not trying to dump on you guys, but it's nice to get feedback and support from other people and hear their similar experiences. So, whether it's in the live stream, the chat or in the comments afterwards, I try to get back to people and, thank them for sharing their stories with me. And, it's nice to not feel alone or something like that along the line. So that's why I really appreciate it. People sharing their experiences in the live stream comments and talking to each other and, sending me advice and things like that. So I don't want you guys to think that I don't appreciate it, because that's like why I do this, why I share my stories. And this whole live stream, I do want to share about what's been going on this week with our dog Leo. And yesterday I did turn 23 weeks, so I'll just share some some news. I turned 23 weeks yesterday, and my baby has been pretty much not like nonstop kicking since then. Like before, it would almost like go away for a little bit, like like I would feel it like once or twice throughout the day. I pretty much feel him kicking all the time, and it's funny because it's like, oh, now you're 23 weeks, now you want to like kick up a storm or something. So I feel him all the time. Obviously, I feel him more if I have like sugar or something, cold, something like that. But I feel him all the time, and I had Nick put his hands on my belly to see if he could feel him, and he was kicking, but he couldn't feel it yet. So I definitely think that when I saw him kick last week, it was like a kind of one-time thing for right now, because I will record it and I'll share it with you guys. And I think it's a cool thing to see. And obviously I've never experienced it before, so it's even better the first time around. And, I'll have Nick share his reaction the first time he actually feels him kick or gets to see it, because it'll be very interesting. So, and it's a fun thing to kind of go on this journey with you guys. So anyway, I want to go right. I'll start with the dog, because I see a lot of people asking about Leo, and it has been a week. So let me start from the beginning, and feel free to, any comment or, say anything that speaks to you, whatever. And I'll try to interact a little bit more. I know I'm not really good at interacting. I read the live chat. It's right here. I just have a hard time, like my brain, like literally splitting into two. Anyway, because you can tell I get very passionate in my storytelling. So basically in the beginning of June, probably June 6th or 7th, something like that, Leo started to like vomit and have diarrhea and not eating his food, which anybody that has ever met Leo knows that Leo eats food in like 5 seconds. Like he will clear his bowl in like that. And, he's the kind of dog that you get the little feeder for, one of those things, like the challenging thing, because you want him to slow down. Well, we just let him rock. Like that's how he is. He eats his food in 2 seconds, whatever. He doesn't throw it up. He burps a lot, but he doesn't throw up his food. And a little backstory on Leo, he has an iron stomach. Like my man's has eaten things in his day that he used to be a big trash eater back in the day when he was younger. He doesn't have that issue anymore. He's a little bit older now. But like I have seen him eat an entire box of Samoas, the box included, the little everything, not have diarrhea, not get sick. And that's chocolate. This past Valentine's Day, he ate an entire bag of Dove chocolates. And this one was really, I was freaking out because they say like chocolate you should not give to a dog. It makes them sick, da 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 da. Well, Rue is very sensitive, so I was like freaking out. So we started to give them both activated charcoal, because I'm like, if Rue ate the chocolate, she's going to be like very sick. If Leo ate the chocolate, he might be all right, because like I said, iron stomach. So Nick's giving him activated charcoal. We give him like a little cap full of, peroxide, the things that you do to get a dog to vomit. So we give it to Rue. Rue vomits. There's like one little wrapper in her vomit. So, okay, she had like one. That's fine. What happened is the cat probably knocked the bag of chocolates off the counter, and the dogs came at it, and Leo is, dom of the house. So he probably growled at Rue. She probably got one little nugget, and he ate the rest. This dog did not throw up. We gave him, by the end of the night, 2 capfuls of the peroxide, activated charcoal, and he ate an entire bag of Dove chocolates, and he did not throw up. So that is the kind of stomach this golden has. Like he does not get sick easily. He is solid as a rock. So when we wake up and we see piles of diarrhea in our house, meaning he could not wait 8 hours to go to the bathroom, which is again not like him at all. He does not use the restroom in the house. He'll go 1 time a day if that's all that you let him out. So our surprise when we see that, and he's not eating his food. So he's like eating it and it's falling out of his mouth, and he's picking it back up. Almost like you would think something's wrong with his like mouth, not like his stomach. And Rue eats her food. She's a normal dog. So she eats it, and he's still eating his food. And it's just like, what is going on? We're both kind of like, that's weird. Okay. So we let him out. And again, we don't worry that much about Leo. He is not the dog that we got to freak out about. So we kind of like just play it by ear. We see how he's doing. He's acting semi-normal. We'll just see this one out. We have had, at one point we had over $3,000 in vet bills when it came, I shared that story about Ani and her puppies. So, we've been to the vet. We can kind of wait it out a little bit without freaking out. We're not someone that just jumps the gun and hurry up and runs to the vet as soon as our dog has a wet poop or something like that. So Leo is 7, for those of you that are asking. He's 7 years old. He just turned 7 in March. So anyway, so that goes by on for like 2 days now. So that was like Tuesday or Monday that we woke up for the first time with diarrhea. So the next day, same thing, diarrhea, just not eating his food. I'm like, that's still, we're on 2 days now. So Wednesday, so we wake up, we have 2 mornings of the diarrhea and not really eating his food. Wednesday, I get up at like 6 a.m. and I did not sleep that night because I'm obviously worried about my dog. So I didn't go to bed until like 1 or something, maybe even 2 or 3. I remember being up basically all night, and I had to get up early at like 5 or 6 a.m. for something for work. So I remember like I literally had like 2 hours of sleep. So between the 2 hours that I had, because I had been letting him out because I was like, oh, I don't want Nick to keep having to wake up and clean up diarrhea. Who wants to keep doing that every morning? Like the first thing you wake up, you go to feed the dogs and you got 6 piles of crap everywhere. Like no one wants to do that first thing in the morning, but Nick does it without complaining out loud. He's complaining inside, of course. If you didn't know this about Nick, he's like a chronic complainer. That's why he has to do a lot of gratitude work, because he just operates on a low level of complaining. So anyway, we have Nick finally calls the vet and tells him what's going on. Well, the vet's like busy and can't get him in until Friday. So we're like annoyed because that'll be a week now that we've been having these issues. But what are we going to do? Like, no, that's not good enough. It's not enough to take him all the way up to, the vet hospital, because 1, we just can't afford that right now. And 2, it would just be this long drawn out process that my vet could tell me in 2 days. So we just decided we'll just, I told them, please, if you can get us in cancellation, we'll take it. And obviously they had no cancellations that people called. But anyway, so we go to the vet Friday morning and we have like they get a stool sample. They're, touching his stomach. They're checking his temperature. They're doing all the typical stuff that, you do to like check the dogs, and everything's coming back normal. Like, mind you, Leo is alert. He is being himself. He looks normal on the outside, which is why we did wait the 2 days. I don't want you to be like, oh, you just neglected your dog for a week. No, he looked normal. And that the way that they act, he wasn't lethargic. He was still drinking water. He was still eating his food. He's just eating it now super slow. It's taking him like almost 2 minutes to finish this bowl, where Rue is like starting to get like, if you ain't gonna eat that, I'm gonna eat it, like up in his grill. So everything comes back normal. And then they decide to, when she looked in there to get the stool, she could tell it was really inflamed. I'm not sure how that process works, but kind of gross. So everything's normal. Like, this is like, you think this is like what you want to hear, that everything's normal, but then also it's like, well, my dog's not normal, so it's not really, you know what I mean? And she sends me home with some Serenia, like 2 doses of Serenia, which, if you don't know, that helps nausea and to stop the dog from getting sick, and a probiotic, so a couple packets of probiotic, like a week's worth, and also a steroid. And we give him that, and it helps. It does help a little bit. She said straight up, he's probably not going to poop for a couple days because it's just so like messy in there. And and this medicine will make him not really poop, so don't be alarmed. So he really didn't poop for like 2 days, because I pretty much go outside with them just to check them out. I'm, good dog owner. I just want to see what their poop looks like. And so he starts to get a little better. He's still slowing down eating his food, but again, he's acting like himself, and everything seems normal. So he's taken the antibiotic, and I'm not mean, but I'm confrontational. And Friday, when I was at the vet, I just wanted to be like, so we don't know what's wrong, basically, is what you're telling me. And I just don't like when doctors or vets or anybody in a professional field like tries to talk their way out of just saying, I don't know, because I find it way more respectful and honest to just say, listen, I don't know what's wrong with your dog. Everything's coming back normal. And without doing more aggressive testing, this is, an area we could try. I could tell you what I think it possibly is, but I don't know for sure. And I don't want you to think that, I just don't like to be sold something that's not true. So this doctor is not a new doctor, but it's a newer one that we've seen at the animal clinic that we go to. I've seen almost all the doctors between all the puppies and stuff being there. And I just said to her, I'm like, so we don't know, basically. We're just trying this specific antibiotic that helps treat parasite, because that's at this point what she's estimating it to be. The problem is the diarrhea, the not eating the food, and the vomiting are very broad symptoms that could happen pretty much, could have happened pretty much anytime a dog is sick for anything. So it's hard. I get it. It's hard to figure it out. And when you get these tests back that they're all normal and he looks normal and his temperature normal, and his heart, everything's normal, then I guess it is hard to tell. And I can't do their job. I don't do their job. So I really don't know. I just know that I want to be told the truth. And so she's like, basically, yeah, like, we don't know. And I said, I just want to be sure that that's what you guys are saying. You don't know what's wrong, because I don't want to be rude, but it took me a week to get in here. And if I go through the weekend and nothing's better, and I call on Monday and you guys say you can't get me in for another week, I'm going to be really upset. And she was like, oh, I totally understand. I'm like, good. Because now that'll be almost 2 weeks that something's wrong. So let's not send me home thinking that everything's going to be okay when we don't know. We're just trying something. So I let them know that I'm aware that you don't know what's going on. We're going to try this, but if we can't, you're going to see me like immediately. So we try the antibiotic, and it like I said, it works. I think the probiotic helped a lot. We don't realize that, but their gut health is probably just as important as ours. And they're not getting the kind of food that we're feeding them this kind of food that we think is really good for them. And we feed our dogs Origin. The reason we feed our dogs Origin is because if you look on the back of the Origin bag, the first 10 ingredients, I know what they are. They're not these long names that I got to Google and try to figure out. And there are all these versions and whatever the government puts in the dog food, I don't know. But we found a dog food that we understand. It's human grade. I could eat the dog food and not get sick. So we decided if I could eat it, then my dog can eat it. So that's why we pay the money for the Origin food. After lots of research on food, that's our thing. And I just wanted to put that out there. So nothing has changed in Leo's diet. Nothing. He hasn't eaten anything in the yard. If he had eaten it, Rue would have eaten it. Rue is the sensitive dog. She gets sick all the time. If the girl eats too much banana, she'll get diarrhea. She's just super sensitive, typical golden in my opinion. But he is not like that. So I'm like, he's sick and she's not. So it can't be something like their food. It's something different. So we go another week and he starts to get better. The probiotic helping. He's still not eating fast. And that's what freaks us out, because it's just okay, he looks normal. He's acting himself. I'm taking him out on bike rides still, and he's going and he's doing it. So we let them go. And then Saturday night, same thing. He's eating slow. Well, actually, that's not true. Saturday night, he ate fast. And I remember looking at him basically I fed them. I opened the back door and I stood outside. And when they're done eating, they just run outside. They go outside immediately after they eat. That's like a routine. So I opened the back door and I'm standing out there with the cat, and Leo comes running out like a minute later. And I'm like, dang, that was fast. Like old Leo. So that's a good thing, right? He ate his food fast. Now had been the first time I noticed him eating his food fast. And that's probably what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks since we've been to the vet, a week after we had stopped the antibiotic for the parasite. So that's good. Sunday morning, Nick and I wake up to piles of vomit/diarrhea. It's so watery, you don't even know. Like you're like, okay, this is not good. Nick goes to feed him his breakfast. He's barely eating. He's doing the same thing. He's eating and it's falling out of his mouth. So now we're like, okay, that's exact same symptoms, but they are like back to where they were before. It's not like it started out slow. So I'm like, you know what? It's Sunday. Like we have to just take him to Blue Pearl. We just got to take him to the vet hospital because we should not wait another day. It's obviously come back full spirit. And it's just something that we can't really, we don't want to play around with it. Like I said, if you've watched my other live streams, you know that 18 months ago, we lost our dog tragically. And it's something that's still like, if I talk about it, you guys know I like literally tear up. That wound is not even healed yet. And it's the same for Nick. It's still very much like hard for us to talk about it. And like thinking about Leo, like anything being wrong with him mentally, emotionally, I could not handle that right now. I'm just going to take him right to Blue Pearl. I trust them. I trust the Blue Pearl in my area. They haven't let us in the wrong. It's a specialist. It's a place that has specialty doctors. So if something is wrong, they have someone that's usually there that knows hey, I've seen these symptoms before. Hey, I know what's going on. Hey, I can help you. And I'm not going to feed you some bull crap that I think possibly could be. So we decide, we take our time, we make breakfast. We're like, we're just going to take the ride. We're just going to take the ride. Exactly. Cheryl Williams. They're my babies. We don't have kids yet. So those are our kids. They make our house a home. They are, I think about how boring our life would be without our pets, without our animals running around. And when you lose one, like when we lost Ani, our house was just so quiet. It was almost like eerie. Like we just had one dog now. And, we just missed her, and her absence was very much noticeable. And we just we're not ready to go through that again. We can't experience that right now, especially with Leo. He's been with us for our adult lives ever since Nick and I have been together. He's our first pet that we've gotten together, and he really is like the staple, the glue in our family, and especially for my life. Jeez, he's been through everything with us. And we just really can't experience that. So we make a day out of it. We decide we're going to go to Blue Pearl. We don't go to the Blue Pearl that's local to us. So there's a couple around us. We don't go to the one that we always go to because they say they're really short-staffed. It's like over a 3-hour wait, and their ICU is full. So if anything was wrong, we'd have to be transferred anyway. So we drive north and go to a different one that we're not used to. I was not really wanting to do that because I've had such luck with this specific one. I'm like, I don't really want to go to another one. I trust the doctors at this one because they've helped me. They've proven to me that they know what they're doing. All the doctors that I've seen there, and they're good people. They're nice. I just like this specific vet hospital better. But, for, time's sake, maybe savaging a little bit of our Sunday, we just drive up and go to this different one. And we explain everything that's going on. We're ready for an answer. We tell them it's come back. I have the paper from my, local vet about what has already been done and when this started and what tests they've done. So they don't have to go through that again. We're already in their system. So we are there. We get there, I think, 1:30. We don't even get home until like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So that's like our whole entire day because it's a Sunday. No vet offices are open. So if anybody in this area has something wrong with their dog, they're going to be at this place. And I'm sure they're short-staffed just like every place is around here. So we take our dog in. On the way to the vet, Leo throws up in the car. And when we get there, which is Nick takes an extra 45-minute route because he doesn't look at his GPS or something. I don't know. Something that men do with their phones where they just put it in their GPS and they don't look at the alternate route. So we take the route that's an extra 45 minutes for some reason, even though I get super car sick, and picking my battles on that one. We get there after an hour and a half, and Nick takes him out of the car and he diarrheas immediately. So it has progressed. Remember, we woke up to piles of poop. The night before he was fine. He has now thrown up in the car and vomited and had diarrhea, in the parking lot. So this has progressed like extremely fast from him last night. So something came back with vengeance, whatever it is. And so we take them in and we share, we tell them basically this is like came back full force. We're not sure what's going on. They're like, all right. So they take him in. Who knows what they do out there? They call us. We tell our story 55 times to 55 different people. Finally, the doctor, wants to talk to us. So we go in and we're sitting in the room. And this doctor is sitting like this. Now, I don't want to be judgy or something, but your doctor's body language says a lot. Are you confident? Are you telling me what's wrong? Are you guessing? Because he's literally sitting like this, slumped in their juice. I'm ready for some bad news at this point because the way that your body language is, you're so unsure of yourself that it's like, I can read that. Nick can read that. We're just like, what the? And he's talking like this and he's got his mask on. You can't really hear him. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? And he's talking in circles. So he told us basically the same thing our vet told us 2 weeks ago. All the tests came back normal. We pretty much don't know what's wrong. Okay. So I came here telling you what we already know. And you're telling me that you already know what I already told you. That's what we're doing here. That's what's going on. Okay. So he doesn't know, but he's saying all these things it might be. He drops the C word. And if you don't know what the C word is, it's cancer, which at this point I'm like, I'm effing done because if you don't know what's wrong, don't drop something that serious. Don't say that something like that. I know that that's never ruled out, but like, don't do that to us. Like you have no idea. So don't do that because you just now set us on a thing that he doesn't know our history. So you just set us on a whole mental path of stress and freaking out and, what's next, that kind of thing. Yes, the scenic route. Like really, dude. And so again, he's just talking like this and he doesn't know. And I'm like, what is the next step? Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but what do we do now? Because yes, you're offering to give him some more Serenia, which is the anti-nausea medicine. And you're offering to give him an appetite stimulant. Great. That'll get him to eat. You're offering to give him an antibiotic because it could still be that parasite because there was no, yes, we have tried probiotics. And we are doing probiotics now. And I think the probiotics helped a lot. Nick and I decided we're just going to buy a big bulk probiotic somewhere. And that's just going to be something that we regularly give our dogs now. It couldn't harm them. So we're going to start to do that. And then was there blood in the poop? There wasn't. When we initially took him to the vet, when she scraped the sample out of his butt, she said there was a teeny bit of blood that could just be from it being inflamed and just having issues. But throughout all the diarrhea, there has been no blood. There's been no blood in the vomit. So that was like a good sign. But back to the thing, he's offering to do the Serenia. He's offering to do the antibiotic. He's offering to do, all these different things that are Band-Aid solutions. And that's what I said. I am, grateful that we have these Band-Aid solutions that do work. When I give him the appetite stimulant, he eats. He eats fast. Kind of. When we give him the antibiotics, his symptoms do go away for a little bit. And, when we do give him the Serenia, he doesn't get sick. That's what they're supposed to do. And I am grateful for that. However, we're almost at a month now where those Band-Aid solutions have worked, but now we're back. And I would rather find the solution because it's costing us money not knowing. Like all these little things that we're doing is costing us money, costing us time. We want to get to the solution. We want to figure out, or we want to get to the root of the problem and solve it. So I'm not sure what this is. So let me know what that is and we'll look into it. Nick and I are at this point, we're looking into our own stuff. Like what could it possibly be? Doing our own research, but doing what the doctors should be doing. So he's like, the next step is the aggressive testing. So the x-rays and the blood work, and those are the next steps that we can do. If you know, that's a good thought. When he ate the chocolate, maybe some of the tinfoil got stuck. That could be possible. That was in February, Valentine's Day. So that was, a couple months before, but who knows? Like, I don't know. That could be a thing. Oh, a dewormer. Everyone, like I said, if you guys like this content or know anyone that can relate or even give me advice, help me out, anything, like and subscribe and share my channel, because this is like an open space, open forum. I share what I'm going through and you either relate or you don't. Thought about or investigated about slowly inducing. Nick and I have talked about doing this. We would have to do a lot more research on it because I know a lot of people that do the raw diet and the dogs aren't getting what they need. And it's something that you have to really keep up with. So obviously if the food is the issue, that is something, there's no limit. Like we would absolutely do that. So, and the dewormer, we have their heartworm also. I don't know if it's a dewormer, but it protects against everything. It's that kind of heartworm. So we'll have to look into that. Maybe that could be a possibility. I didn't think about that just because it had been so far apart. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll have to. Well, someone just says it shows up on x-rays. So yeah, the vet on Sunday, the Blue Pearl, they said, we can do these things. And they give you a whole list. They don't do any services yet. They give you a whole list and they say, these are what we think you should do. The low end is $650 something. The high end is $1,500. Okay. So that's how this specific hospital does it. I'm like, can I borrow your pen? She's like, sure. And I'm scratching out the things. No. I'm not getting all this. I'm not paying for this. Do not do any of these services. I'm like picking and choosing what I want you to do at this moment with my dog because you don't know what you're doing. And every single thing on this paper, I said, everything on this paper my vet can do, correct? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So my dog is acting normal. He's like I said, he is alert. He's being himself. He's licking. He just looks like perfect golden retriever. So let's just do like what's immediate. So for example, the subcutaneous fluids, we're going to do that because he is probably dehydrated. He had diarrhea. He vomited. He's definitely probably dehydrated. He's still drinking water, but it's not enough. So let's go ahead and we'll do that. Next, we'll do, go ahead and give him the Serenia. They do an injection of it. We'll do the Serenia because I don't want him to get sick anymore. I do want him to get some food. We're taking him home. We need to get through the night. So the Serenia will ensure that he's not getting sick throughout the night. And the subcutaneous fluid will make sure he's hydrated. Next is the antibiotic. So Nick wants to start the antibiotic because if it is a parasite, because I know parasites, if they shed their skin, they won't show up in the test that they do. So it could still be a parasite. So we want to keep doing the round of antibiotic. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll stick to that. So we do these 3 services and we still spend well over $350, which really is on the low end. Remember, they tried to get me low end $600. I'm like, we cannot afford $600. So we get these services and we send us on our way. We call the vet immediately Monday morning, and I give her the whole rundown, and she's like, okay, I want to do x-rays and blood work. I said, me too. I'm calling you to tell you that's what I want. We're definitely going to do the next step. You know, we didn't do it last time. We wanted to see if the antibiotic and the stuff worked. It did work, but now we're back. So now it's time that we take the next step. So we're just going to keep the running total starting now, because we know we're just at the beginning of these vet bills, because, you know. So your comments are very true. I want to tell you, I want to finish the story, well, this part of the story, and then I'll go back to them because I'll answer some of your questions. So we get the x-rays and the blood work. So they do this thing where they're like, oh, we don't have availability until Thursday. Remember, I told you guys this in the beginning of the live stream. Absolutely not. You send me home with this trial, and then you tell me that you don't know what's wrong, but I'm not waiting another week to get my dog in the vet. We're not doing that. So I said, we need to figure it out. I'm not trying to be rude, but Mr. Fluffy's, the little kitty cat that's coming in at 12 o'clock today to get his rabies shot, can wait till the next day. My dog needs help, like right now. So I need you guys to kind of like figure it out. And I'm not trying to be rude, but it's just like, this is an emergency situation. You've got to have a system in place for dogs that have, like, you know, I don't know how these offices are run, but like, you have to have some kind of system in place for dogs that aren't eating or vomiting and throwing up. That is like a specific thing. Like, do you have a slot set out for, I'm sure I'm not the only person that has emergencies with their dogs and it can't wait 5 hours at an emergency vet. So I need you to figure it out. So they go, oh, we do this thing where if you drop your dog off, whenever the doctor's done with, you know, their rooms, if they have extra time, one of the doctors will see them. I'm like, I'll do it. I have to do it at this point. So Monday we get up and I call the vet and we decide to do that. So Nick goes and we drop the dog off and we get the blood work. Sorry, I'm going to read this. I didn't get any antifungal med. And this is the second person to say something about this. I'm going to have to look into that. Thank you. We drop the dog off, we get the blood work, and we actually have a really close friend that works at the same animal clinic. So she calls us and she's like, blood work is normal. Good. That's perfect. Blood work is normal. That's exactly what we wanted to hear, right? Kind of, because now we're still at the same spot we were before, but we know the blood work's normal. Then we get the x-rays. She said the x-rays look normal, but there's a lot of food in his intestines and it's kind of hard to see. It looks a little like different, but it's nothing like super alarming. But we want to do another set of x-rays tomorrow with his stomach empty. So that was another $350 for the blood work and x-ray. So we're now at almost $700 in 2 days. But it had to be done. Like what else? Like I said, we're just in this spot where we literally cannot take losing our dog. We're not taking any chances. We've already been through the ringer, you know, and we just aren't. We're going to just, you know, put the money. We're just putting it on our credit cards. We just got to take care of the dogs. So we pay the money and we have to pay because I guess they didn't tell us that you shouldn't feed your dog before x-rays. We didn't know that. We've never had a dog have to get x-rays before. So Tuesday we go and Nick drops the dog off again and or Wednesday and we get x-rays with no food. And again, it's the same thing. The x-rays look fine. It looks a little like moved around in there, but it's nothing to be alarmed about. It doesn't explain anything. So the next step is to do an ultrasound. So on Wednesday, when we are at the vet, they call us because we do the same thing on Wednesday where we drop the dog off. When they have time, they see him, and that's how they do it because they don't have spots for us. That's fine. Whatever you need to do to get it done. But she calls us and she's like, I need you guys to take him to Blue Pearl. He needs an ultrasound. I want to see inside the organs at this point because we don't know, but the behavior is still not normal. And almost a month of this now, we need to get it taken care of. I'm like, thank God my vet is agreeing with me and we're on the same page about the severity of it. So to the tinfoil thing. Like, it would have showed up on there. If not, we are still getting an ultrasound. It might show up on there. And so far, all of our tests have come back normal. So she's like, I'm going to call Blue Pearl again, and they have they have an ultrasound stuff there. They'll do it. So she calls me. She's like, I waited on hold for 40 minutes. Finally, I got a hold of someone. And this is a doctor calling another doctor's office, like not like an annoying person like me calling. She's like, I finally got a hold of someone. They're expecting you. You have to check him out through the ER. Like, you have to check him in through the ER because you don't have an appointment for internal medicine. But this is the next step, going to internal medicine specialist to get the ultrasound and like have them review it with you. So we're like, oh my God, this is like a 2-hour drive with traffic from our house, like almost. So Nick has to call out of work. I work nights, so I'm like, maybe I can still go to work. We'll see. So, we go to the vet, we pick up the dog, we take him all the way down to Blue Pearl, and we get there, and it's the same old. We check him in. I'm like, I called them because you guys still got to wait in your car. I tell them, I have the golden retriever. You guys are expecting us. They're like, oh yeah, okay. So they know who I am. They know I'm coming. So I come out. The girl comes out and gets the dog. I have to explain my story 1,000 times. Okay. Then she's like, okay. I'm like, listen, I was just here 2 days ago, and I spent like 5 hours here. I'm already at over $700 in vet bills in 2 days. I am literally just here for an ultrasound. I do not need to have like an emergency visit. I don't need to be told that he needs this, this, and this. He's fasted. He's been fasted since yesterday morning. So he's been fasted for over 24 hours now. He's ready to just have the ultrasound. That's literally all he needs. She's like, okay, let me see what I can do. So she goes in. An hour later, I get a call from not even the doctor, like a nurse. I have to tell her the entire story over again. I'm being patient because I don't know what their system is, but it's definitely annoying to have to explain your situation 50 times when your doctor is the one who told you to go here. I tell her the same thing. Listen, we were here for 5 hours 2 days ago. We're over $700 in vet bills. Can we please just get the ultrasound? They told us that you guys already were expecting us, so you knew we were coming. It takes us 2 hours to get here. We can't just go sit down at a restaurant. That's what they told us to do. I'm like, no, we can't just do that. At this point, I have to call out of work because even though we need the money right now, like I said, we're at $700 in vet bills. I need to be working. I need to be making the money to recover from this. And I'm like, I have to call out. I can't just I have no idea what's going on. So tell her the whole story. She's like, okay, great. Let me talk to the doctor. 2 hours later, this is where it gets interesting. 2 hours later, the doctor calls, giddy as can be. How you guys doing? Good, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so just so you guys know, internal medicine is not here today. They already left. So we have no one here. Okay, sorry, I was just reading one of the comments. So internal medicine isn't here anymore to do your ultrasound. I'm like, what? We've been here for 2 hours. What do you mean they're not here? My doctor called and sent us over. So, what do you mean? She's explaining that they left for the day. The ultrasound technician is part-time. She only works Monday through Wednesday. I am about to snap because now you guys were at 4 days of this and it has been such anxiety. And I will explain. I have more stuff to talk about, more stuff to explain once I get through this story. But it's just are you kidding me? I literally hand the phone to Nick because I'm about to snap. I'm a confrontational person and I cannot handle this right now. So I literally hand the phone over to him because he's a lot nicer and he has more patience than me because I cannot. We've been here for 2 hours and that's what you're going to tell me, that you can't even do the ultrasound? So she explains it to him and he's like, dude, it's been 4 days now and no one is helping our dog. We don't understand what needs to happen. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I understand. Couple options. We can do the ultrasound tomorrow. We can keep him overnight. Not keeping my dog overnight for $5,000. No, thank you. And, the ultrasound tomorrow. Like, we're annoyed because now we're almost at a week of every day we're doing something with the vet. Every day we're doing something with the dog. And I'm deep breathing. I'm like, whatever, just take the appointment. So she's like, okay, I'll transfer you to the nurse's office or the receptionist desk to make the appointment. Okay, fine. We'll just make the appointment for tomorrow. At this point, what can we do? Well, we're not going to sit here and argue with you guys. We're ready to go home now. So we do that, and the nurse on the phone, or the receptionist, is like, okay, so the first available is July 14th. July 14th. The first available ultrasound appointment is July 14th. 14th, that's 2 weeks away. Nick's like, what? She just told us we could come tomorrow. You offered to keep my dog overnight. She's like, I'm so sorry. She's part-time and she only works Monday through Wednesday, and that's the soonest availability. I'm like, my dog is not eating. My dog is diarrhea. My dog is vomiting. That is not an emergency. I'm so confused. What is going on? So Nick's like, I gotta go. So we hang up and we call our vet back, and we're leaving messages, or please call us back. We have no idea what to do at this point. Like, obviously nothing's right with Leo. Like, we just don't know. And we're in the same spot that we've been in all week, where we literally just don't know anything. So it's stressful. And you guys see what just happened, like the audacity of this place. I don't know if it's just poorly run, or maybe I don't know what the situation is, why we were there for 2 hours, and I have told every single person I've come into contact with what we need. The girl at the front desk didn't know internal medicine wasn't here. The girl that called me didn't know internal medicine wasn't here. For 2 hours, I needed the doctor to tell me that internal medicine is not here. You all don't have like a schedule board up front? Like, I don't understand. So Nick and I are leaving, and he is like out of his mind, spazzing. So we're high strung at this point. We're stressed. We don't know what's going on. So now we got to drive a 2-hour drive back home, and he's calling up different places and like, we need an ultrasound for our dog. Like, do you guys do them? Or finally the doctor calls us back, and she's like, I am so sorry. I just got off the phone with Blue Pearl, and I said the same thing to them. Like, they knew who you guys were, and they knew you guys just left. And I had talked to them, and they told me to send you guys over. And she's like, I never would have sent them had you guys not, like, had you said that this situation, and we knew exactly what you needed. And had you told us that wasn't available, we wouldn't have sent them over. So really, like, basically get it together. Like, you guys are wasting people's time. We both had to call off of work, which I have a whole story about that, because my manager, she got slick with me about it. So that's a whole situation now I got to address. And, like I said, we need the money right now because we're already at $700 in vet bills. So Nick should not be calling out of work, and I should not be calling out of work. And right, Cheryl, it's an emergency. Like, what do you mean you can't accommodate me? You know what I think? We get there at 2:00. Internal medicine was there. You just didn't get the message up to them until like 4:30, 5:00. They pieced out. They went home for the day. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. And now you're like, oh, they're not here. What? They don't have it. Like, I don't know. I'm just assuming because I'm hot and bothered. So finally the vet, she's calling around. She gets us an appointment for July 6th. That is Tuesday, for the ultrasound. We can't do anything else at this point. It's like 5:00. All these vet offices are going home. The only thing open are emergency places. So we decide that that's the soonest appointment. We're going to call back starting today. We're going to start calling around and see if we can get an ultrasound. We're going to get through the night. And we're going to get through the night. We're doing like the bland diet, the chicken, the rice, probiotic on it. And we're feeding him quarter cups every 2 hours to see if he can eat and not vomit. He's a big water drinker, so we had to limit his water because my boy would have came home and drank an entire bowl of water right off the gate. So we have to limit that. And guys, we get through the night and we have no vomit. We have no diarrhea. So that is a win for us right now. Nick fed him, again, same thing, bland diet. And it's nice to wake up and not have piles, it's nice to like wake up and it's like, he ate his food. Okay, good. He ate it fast because he's hungry. He did not throw up. He did not vomit. So that's where we're at today. We still have that appointment on Tuesday. It's far away, but if he's still eating and he's not throwing up and he's not having diarrhea, obviously we're still going to get the ultrasound because that is the next step. And I just want to make sure. That we can get through the weekend without any issues. Let's see what some of the comments say. Oh, we're arguing about this one guy. Yeah, I'm specifically talking about my dog on this stream. I have a lot of other stuff to talk about too, but I wanted to just share with you guys this story because this has been the most stressful week of my pregnancy. That's still a 23-week update, okay? I hit 23 weeks and here where my life is, and my body is paying for this stress, and I will share with that, but I just wanted to give you guys the story. Like, you guys care about our dogs. Nick went live yesterday on his main channel and talked about it a little bit, and people care. Like, you guys want to know. And most people have pets. They can relate to this frustrating, like, never ending cycle of these doctors and these vets that just tell you things. And like you said, they want all these tests done. They're making money off of me, and I have $700 and I don't even know. 700 plus the extra x-rays, which were 150. So I'm almost at $1,000 and I don't know what's wrong with my dog. So, hopefully it is something, something simple. It's just like you said, it is scary when they're sick. Like I said, we don't want to lose him right now. And, he doesn't pee a lot. We thought about diabetes. Nick always jokes that he has diabetes because he drinks so much water, but he's not like, he's just always been there like that. He doesn't pee like abnormally or anything. Yeah, bad gut diet. Hopefully we can, that probiotic I'm sure will help them a lot. And I appreciate all of you guys for giving me advice and different things that could help or things to think about. And again, if you like this content or anything that I share about, or you can relate to it anyway, or you want to, someone that might relate to it and be able to help us, share, send this to them, have them like or subscribe or comment, just anything. Any way to connect is so helpful. And Leo is 7 years old. He's not that old. And we, so far we're doing okay. We want to get through the weekend. I will update you guys for sure next week on the ultrasound. Hopefully the ultrasound is clear. And like you guys said, it's something that, hopefully I see a lot of things. Try a spoonful of pumpkin. I'll look into it. I'll have Nick get the pumpkin. And then can you do another question and ask me anything live stream with your sister Lexi sometime? I sure. I mean, I plan on introducing you guys to all my sisters eventually. They just got to get a setup, like, good lighting and mic and stuff, so that's not like crappy quality. I'll give you guys good quality content. But I said something about scrambled eggs too. I was like, Nick, can we give him some scrambled eggs in the chicken and rice? Almost make it like a stir fry. But he wants to keep it as bland as possible right now. Nothing out of the ornament. Nothing too crazy. I did sneak him a little bit of banana today. Don't tell Nick. Just like 2 pieces because he likes a little treat. And we'll go from there. But like, so you guys know that that's the main story. I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and then I want to talk about Nick and like our stress, like what else has been going on and how my body's been, affected by this. Cause it's a big deal and I really have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I have a Care credit card, but it is terrible interest, and I don't like to use it. I have enough credit on my personal credit card with lower interest that we use. And then the reason I have Care credit is because you guys know I don't have insurance. I've shared that before. And a couple years ago, I had to get a crown put on, and I had to pay out of pocket for that crown. That was like over $2,000, and I just didn't have that money at the time. So I had to get Care credit for that. So I've already kind of used that year no interest thing, but I know my bathroom is literally right there. That's why it's so fast. But I'm going to take all your suggestions about the eggs and the pumpkin and work that out. I try to take them on walks on my bike ride still, keep them active. That's how I know what's going on with him. But so, Monday when I wake up, I'm like so on edge. Like I can just feel the stress in my body, and I'm like kind of lashing out a little bit on Nick. And the reason is because, we're stressed out about our dog. That affects us. And who do we take it out on? Our loved ones, usually the people that are right there. And, something else that happened is I was on Facebook I have quite a bit of women that are pregnant at the same time with me on my feed right now. And she was a couple weeks ahead of me, and she just lost her baby. And it made me feel so like traumatized, like almost like a shiver, like a fear would come over me. And it's just like, I didn't really know her that well. I just knew she was a couple weeks ahead of me. And I just like was almost like stopped dead in my tracks, because I feel like maybe I'm alone in this, but I feel like every pregnant woman might have a fear that could happen to them. Like, whether it's a miscarriage or a stillborn or infant loss of some sorts. And it is just super, super scary to see that. And, oh crap, it is a real thing. Like, it's not just, not that it's not real, but until it happens around you or to you, you kind of, it's on the back burner of your fears, but it's still there. And even if we don't address it or talk about it, it's just something there. And it makes me feel sad, and it makes me fearful of my own baby. And it makes me think like there's something out there snatching these women's babies. Like, I know that sounds like a crazy way to describe it, but that's what it feels like. You want to like hold on to yours, like no, don't take mine, but then also why her, not me. And this guy, there we go, it's off topic, but he wanted to know. And it just made me more tense, like we're dealing, oh God, we have a visitor. Hugh. We have like a fear, like it just makes me more tense. Like I got a fear of losing my dog, and then I have a fear now that my baby could be lost, like could be taken from me. I am very grateful. I've had a 100% healthy pregnancy. I have been feeling good most of the time, and I don't know the situation with this specific woman. Maybe she had health issues. Maybe there was a reason. I don't know, but it really like kind of shook me a little bit. And so, that is like a whole other fear that kind of is hard for me to just kind of go over. And I told Nick right away, because I just wanted him to know, like, I'm a little bit more aggressive with you, or just, I don't want you to be like what you're doing. Like, he would do something and I'd like snap on him, and like, you just act that way because you're already tense. You're already acting a certain way. So I just wanted him to know why I was more like sensitive. Like, I just feel like it's not fair. Why did this woman lose her baby? Like, why did that happen? It's just not fair. It's really not fair. And it's hard to even grasp that could happen to you. And she shared, later on, she shared that she had her baby unexpectedly at 24 weeks, and I'm 23 weeks. Like, that means next week I could have my baby. And if you Google it, when is the fetus viable outside of the womb? And at 24 weeks, that is like the common answer. And they have a 50% chance of survival. And it's just crazy to think that my baby could be born next week. I know he's not. Listen, I have a healthy pregnancy. I feel my baby in there. He's healthy. My sister was 10 pounds. I was 9 pounds. I got a chunker growing inside of me. Okay. And I know he's not coming next week, but maybe this girl didn't know, and it could just happen. It's just crazy to think. We're not ready. We need more time to prepare for him. And I want him to, be in there longer, but I just couldn't believe that was, it's like 24 weeks. Wow. And everyone's saying those thoughts are unhealthy. Look, I know. That's why I wanted to listen. When it rains, it pours, right? Because we have the stress with our dog, and then this happens like that Monday morning. I see it, and it's just like this is all happening at once, and that's why I said this was the most stressful week of my pregnancy, because I'm not even done sharing. Like, so I'm thinking about that. And that's Leo at the baby gate. And I've shared with you guys before, I have a friend that is pregnant with twins. She's a couple weeks ahead of me as well. I think she's 4 weeks ahead of me. And she's got twins, and they're doing okay. They're not doing that well. One of them is in the 6th percentile. She is high risk. And I just found out that she has to go to the hospital because something's wrong, and they're giving her a steroid injection, and to see, I'm guessing, to help develop the lungs, because I want to say she's 27 or 28 weeks, and they're giving her a steroid injection and keeping her overnight, and giving her another steroid injection in the morning, and doing a stress test on the twins to see how they're doing. Like, I don't want her to have her babies right now. Like, I want her to at least make it to 30 weeks. I know she's high risk. I know they're going to schedule her a C-section, but if she could just, I don't want her to lose her baby. And no one wants that, but it's just like, this is a friend of mine who has had a very stressful pregnancy, and it's really hard on her, and she's had a lot of stress in her life. And when I compare our pregnancies, I'm extremely grateful for my healthy pregnancy. And really just, I'm lucky that I don't have to be one of those people looking for a place to live, because now all of a sudden I got kids on the way, like we planned our baby. She didn't plan hers, and just different things. And that's sad. I can relate to these women because I am pregnant as well. And I'm getting to the point where my baby is viable outside of the womb, and we're just getting more and more connected and attached to him. And I realized how attached I am. Like, I don't want to lose him. And the longer it goes on, the longer he's in there, and the more attached and connected we get, and more in tune with him. Yeah. I agree. So that I am a very positive person. I don't want you guys to think I'm negative, but I just wanted to share, like, basically, like I said, when it rains, it pours. And so I'm having, these stressful days with Leo. And then now I, have these stories popping up, and you're feeling empathy and sympathy in your heart for someone else, and kind of just sharing parts of, sending good emotions their way and good vibes. So, with that being said, mental health is just, being pregnant is a whole other thing. I consider myself someone that has decent mental health. I have shared that I see a therapist, and I do a lot of journaling, and I do things like yoga and exercise to also as a stress relief outlet. unfortunately, I haven't been able to do a lot of yoga recently because I have been having terrible sciatic pain on the left side all week. Probably my body reacting to this stress. So this left side sciatic pain is shooting down to my left leg, and it like my leg will almost like give out. It's the weirdest thing, and I know that I just need to rest. I took a bath the other night. It just, I'm always on my heating pad, and I do see a chiropractor, but I had to cancel my appointment this week due to having other things like appointments to go to. So, I think I do take care of myself. Belly belt. Yes, I do wear a belly belt at work. I wear compression socks at work. I know I'm on my feet. You guys know I serve and I bartend. So I'm on my feet a lot. I got to make sure I take care of my body. And if any point, my job, I tell them this is too much. I need a break. I need to leave. They accommodate me, and they are really good at working with me, because there has been days I'm like, I have to go. So, that's been my experience. I have now this like shooting pain up my neck that's like giving my left eye, like it's like almost like a migraine feeling. And I'm just wondering if this is stress or hormones. I try not to take any medicine because I really just know that it's not good for the baby, any kind of medicine. And I wonder if there's any alternative methods out there, or if you guys have experienced this or know someone that can help me, or have just advice. Like I said, I already see a chiropractor. I did schedule a massage for next week because that'll help with the stress that I'm going through right now. Just some relief for my body. And just looking for anything that can help relieve some of this stress, because that's life. Life has these ups and downs, and I've been grateful for my life. My pregnancy so far has been really easy, but now we're at this place where just a lot of stuff's going on. And I'll just talk, like Nick is stressed as well, because not only is it financially stressful, but I'm sure you guys know Nick had a ban on his channel, and it's been hard for him to try to stay connected with you guys and also get the information out, and stressing about which platform to use. And he's put so much work into his channel and getting that information out there. This cat is really, he's cute, but come on. And getting that information out there, and what's the right platform, what competes with YouTube. Like these are every morning, stressing about this, and it's hard for him, and he feels like he put so much work into it. Like what can we do to keep this fight going without losing everything that he's worked really hard to build together, to build with his friends and build on YouTube. So he's got that stress. So we both have a lot of stuff going on, and it's just, he's just busy, he's very busy trying to figure this all out. And it's like a time when I need him too. So it's hard for him to divide his attention to me and you guys, fighting against what's wrong and what's right. And this is my 23-week update, and so it says, do you have anything to grab a hold of? Hang on, like monkey bars? No, I don't have anything like that. I'm going to put him outside. Sorry, guys, in the room. You gotta go, baby. He's the sweetest cat. He's just super invasive, And I'm covered in kitty hair. And then I told you guys when we did the yoga with Nick and I did the yoga, and the cat kind of showed up after. I swear that fame went to his head, because after that he disappeared for 2 days. And I was like, he got famous on YouTube for one video, and he just decided to up and leave, out tricking on the streets out there. But because Nick was talking about anything I'm to come to know my love magnesium. Nick does a lot of research on the vitamins I take, and I don't take a prenatal. I take a handful of vitamins. So I'm sure, I think I take magnesium. We just talked to my midwife about that. So we have discussed that, and I know that also this will pass and everything will be okay. And okay, see, he says she's taking 400. See, he already knows. I just want to share, like, I'm sure you guys can relate to this. Pregnancy is lonely. Like, it is a great experience to have. It's an experience that you have with yourself because you're growing a baby inside of you. But also, you are kind of shifting roles for yourself. So it's I'm, going from Caitlin to a mom now, a new label. I'm shifting like classes. So my friend group is going to be changing now. I'm probably going to hang out, find new friends that have babies, or connect differently to my friends that don't. Like, I'm kind of shifting into a new chapter in my life. And it's kind of, you almost feel like lost a little bit in the middle. And it's been like, I need my husband a lot right now, because he's going through it too. But also, I'm really needy right now, and I need him to basically help me. Like, I'm needy to the point where I need him to get stuff that falls over, because it's like hard for me to bend over or put my compression socks on, because they're like long and they're really tight, and it's just hard for me to put them on. And it's so much easier if he just does it. And I can imagine what that's like when your wife goes from Miss Independent to all of a sudden she needs your help putting on socks and switching over the laundry because the washer's too deep. It's just certain things like that where I can understand how it can be hard. But also, I have all these ailments that have all of a sudden just popped up, the pain, the sciatic pain, and the left pain, the left leg pain, and the shooting pain at my neck that causes me to have a headache all day long yesterday for 24 hours, which is probably related to the stress that I've been feeling. And my baby is growing and I feel him kicking all the time. So that's exciting, but you're just, all over. And like you guys said, my baby can sense these emotions just like my pets can. Like someone said earlier, your dog could just be super sensitive to you, and he probably is. So, it's just, it's hard, and if you don't have, I have my family that's moving down here. They're moving down tomorrow, and it's good to have family that's a little bit closer. I won't feel so lonely, but it is hard to go through these things alone. I know I keep saying, I feel like I'm skipping CD, alone, feeling lonely, alone, feeling alone. But I think that's a common symptom. I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of pregnant friends to, chat with about the emotions that women have. But I just feel like that's a common thing maybe women feel. And, I'll get through it. I talked to my therapist about it, and it's, just hard. I don't want to keep saying, but, and thanks everyone for tuning in. And like I said, if you can relate to this channel, share it with someone who is pregnant or has golden issues or any kind of dog issues and can relate and has any kind of advice. And it's super helpful when other people share their experiences and can relate. And I really appreciate it as well. And I don't know what else. See, it's normal, it's hormonal, and you're going through, even though we're excited, this is what we wanted, it's just a change. And, even Nick has shared yesterday that he feels nervous. Like, it's scary becoming a dad. I'm sure. I don't know what it's like to become a dad, but it's just like a whole new set of responsibilities. And we wanted this. and we still want it, but that doesn't mean it's not going to have growing pains. And we're past halfway now. I'm almost 6 months pregnant. So we're kind of shifting into that. It's getting closer. It's closer to him being here than it is him not being here. Like we're more this way than we are that way. And I just, we want to make sure that we're not missing anything. We're doing the right thing, and we're handling things. And yesterday when we took the dog to the vet, I actually slept until midnight. That would be nice. I slept until noon because I woke up at 5 a.m. with a slamming headache that was making me nauseous to the point where I was like almost gagging. I had to take a shower and relax. And you guys know that baby, I always joke, I call him a parasite. He is a parasite. He's sucking the life out of me. He sucks all my energy and my nutrients, and I got to do extra to get, extra protein and all these things. And sleeping, I sleep a lot. I have a good sleep schedule, and I still work out. I haven't been able to work out in almost 10 days because of the sciatic pain. And it's just been hard, but I know that we'll get through it. And trust in my baby, trust in my body. And it's any fears. I think the reason I'm feeling like this, like that, all of a sudden that fear is kind of rushing in because I opened the door to fear when I thought about this girl that just lost her baby. Like I opened that door, and that's kind of how it works, right? We see something, or we go through something, or we give it attention, a thought, a negative emotion, and it opens that door. And then what floods in? More of that negative emotion. And maybe that's what happened to us. Our guards were down because we were stressed and we were worried about our dogs. And so little evil things trickle in, such as fear or anxiety or even more. And, I take inositol, which is and I pretty much take it every day. It helps with regulating hormones. So I haven't noticed extreme hormonal out there, but I have noticed a lot of hormonal changes. And yesterday, I want to tell you guys this story. I have talked about my job at Texas Roadhouse, and they are super accommodating. My big boss is awesome. Most of my managers are really great and have been through this, and they are very helpful, and they accommodate me when I need it, and they really are great. But I have had one issues with one manager before, and I don't know what her deal is, if she just has issues. I don't know. I don't read too much into it. But I messaged her yesterday, early in that day, before she's even at work, and I say, hey, this is what's going on with my dog. I just picked him up from the vet, and I have to take him to the hospital now to see internal medicine. And basically, I'll keep you updated. If all things go well, then I will be at work later. If not, I'll keep you updated. No text back. A little rude, but whatever. Maybe she's busy. Actually, I know she's not busy. I'm just trying to come up with an excuse for her. I just think that's super insensitive. Most of those people at work know about me losing my dog tragically. So anytime I've had to leave because of my dogs going to the vet or whatever, they're super accommodating. Like I said, my job, the reason I've been with this company for so long is because they know life happens and they treat you like a family and how they would want to be treated. And that means everything to me. So I'm like, okay, I don't get a text back for a long time. Things are not looking well because of all that with Leo. So I text another manager that's there, who I know she's there. And I send her the screenshot of me sending that to her, and she doesn't reply back. So I send it to them, and I'm like, listen, I just want to say that I'm communicating across all the boards. I just want to let you guys know up front what's going on. Don't text me back either. She actually is probably busy because I know she's in the kitchen today. And I am like, that's a little weird, but I'm actually not going to work now because things have just taken a turn. And now we're calling around and we're looking for this. And the thing with my job is they want you to call if you're not coming in, because everyone always tries to text the managers, and it's like too stressful because what if they're not there? It's too much. So they always want you to call. And if I can't come into work because I'm sick, I always call. But this is like a special situation where I had to reach out before any of them were even in the work building, and say, like, basically, this is what's going on. It's kind of a personal issue. So she doesn't reply back to me. To me, that warrants me to say anything. And I'm not saying anything back to you. I'm not updating you anymore. You have not replied back to me. So then at 5:30, she says, "Are you coming in?" I'm like, "No." So she doesn't text me back for 4 hours. And then that's what she says to me at 5:30, "No." And I told her that my dog was at the hospital. All week I've been talking to my friends at work about it. My manager knows what's going on. "Thanks for calling." Explanation point. Like a smart ass comment. "Thanks for calling." I'm like, biting my lip. I'm confrontational. I've said this before. It takes everything in me not to snap, because I am already, like I told you, I'm emotionally unstable right now. So I text her back, "I'm at the hospital. That's not my priority," and leave it at that. Immediately, I call my big boss because I know he's not going to tolerate that. That's just not how we treat our employees. And this specific manager has just talked out of her neck. And I told Nick, I said, "That's the kind of stuff that you get popped for. Like, you just don't treat people like that. We are human beings. And if you don't reply back to me as a human being, I'm not replying back to you as a human being. You are not better than me. You do not hold anything over my head. I'm simply letting you know that I might inconvenience your shift due to my, like, extreme situation of my dog. Like, that's just how it is." And it's just like I've been saying, when it rains, it pours, because of course she picks right now to try me. She picks right now to say something smart, because, like I said, I'm confrontational and I'm going to address the situation. I call my boss. He doesn't answer. He texts me. He's like, "I can't answer right now." I said, "That's fine. It's probably better anyway. I'm emotionally unstable right now. I probably would end up crying on the phone, complaining." So what I said, "On Friday, I need to talk to you and the specific manager at the same time." He's like, "All right, what's going on?" I tell him, I said, "I'm at the hospital with my dogs. We'll catch up later." Immediately, like, "Oh, hope the dog's okay." A normal response. "Hope the dog's okay." How about after I said, "I'm at the hospital, that's not my priority. Are you okay? Is everything all right? How is the dog?" Those are all responses that any other manager in that building would have said to me, except for this specific one that has issues I don't even want to address. Like, not my problem. This specific person, like, has these emotional issues that just overflow, and she just dumps them on other people or blames them. It's like what we talked about, when something's wrong, we blow up on other people, or, you had a bad day and then you stub your toe and everything's against you. It's like one of those mindsets. And it's like, no, we just know that we're already in a hypersensitive mood. So everything is just kind of piling on, and we're going to respond to that. But when you pick this job as a manager, you know what you're doing. You are in the people industry. The only way to get people to stay at these jobs is to pay them well, to take care of them, to treat them like family, to validate them, to make them feel valued, things like that. Like I said, why I'm still at this company, because they do all these things. So it's like annoying, because now when I go in tomorrow, I have to address this situation. And when I go to work tonight, she won't be there, which is fine. But it's like, now I have to be like, one, don't treat me like that. Absolutely not. I have been through enough traumatic situation with my dogs that they come first. This serving job is not my priority right now, and it won't be. Okay. So next time that I text you personally, like as a human being, not as my manager, to tell you my situation and you don't reply back, don't wonder why I didn't call you and tell you I'm not coming into work. So I have amazing work ethic. I think my managers really appreciate me. And it's just like, these are the kind of people, like, that are they're just like not good people, I guess. And, I don't like having issues with my managers. That's why I'm going to bring it to the table on Friday. Like, I'm just going to nip it in the bud right now. I got my big dog manager right here, and I got the one that offended me, and I'm going to say it how I feel that it's not appropriate. And I'm going to stand up because I know none of these other people are going to stand up and say something. But I know that if you treated me like that, then you're definitely going to treat these people like that. And so I just, turnover is an issue. Let's nip it in the butt right now. But it's like, why do I have to do that right now? Can you just act right? Can you just not be a smartass and text message when someone's having issues with their dog? Like, can we just not do that? You know what I mean? Like, can you just not do that right now so I don't have to come at you? So that was what I was dealing with. And then let me tell you guys one more story. I'm not going to keep you on here much longer because I've shared my update and the stress. And I don't want to be like super negative, but it's just like this stuff is just, I can't make it up. And you guys know, if you've ever been to Texas Roadhouse, we give our fresh baked bread is free. It's complimentary. We give it, you can have as much as you want. We really don't care. But this specific night, so one thing you guys don't know about bake is that it is very scheduled. It's very time sensitive. So if one person or one thing gets behind as far as making the bread, you will be behind all night. And that's why if the bread runs out, it's going to be out. It's going to be out a lot. Like it's just going to be spotty all night. And that's why I'm sure if you went to Texas Roadhouse and like, oh, we don't have bread right now, we'll have it up shortly. That's why. It's just hard to catch up, and it's a hard position. It's very stressful. But a lot of people don't know that. So that was what happening this night. It was a newer girl, and we had basically like a soccer team come in. And when that happens, they kind of suck up all the bread for that time. So all the other tables that are getting sat get behind. I immediately let the people know up front about that because I know how people feel about their bread. Like they want their bread. It's free. I get it. Well, this one table was just like very not happy about it. So rude. And I'm like, I had a lot going on. Let me not blow up on them because it would not be their fault. It would be me projecting onto them the situation. So I just kind of bite my tongue, even though that's not really the kind of person that I am. Even in the customer service business, you can still say how you feel and let it be, I keep serving them and it's getting worse. Like they are just getting nastier and nastier. They want more bread. I wait in line to get them bread. I have 3 other tables. I'm busy. I wait in line. And also it's hard for me. I'm lugging this belly bump around. I'm tired. It's just, this job is harder on me now. So I wait in line for them to get their bread. And I bring it to them like, I got you guys bread. I'm so sorry you had to wait so long. They didn't have to wait that long. I literally got them drinks and then got them bread. To me, a long time is you're eating your dinner and you still haven't had the bread. That to me is a long time. I'm like, I'm so sorry you had to wait so long, but I got you bread and I had to wait in line for it and there's none left, but I got this for you. And they're like, thanks. I'm like, okay. I got an 8 top over here that doesn't have any, but I made sure you had it first. Fine. You want to be like that? So they eat the bread immediately because there's 4 of them. And they're like, we want more bread. And I'm like, I can try. I'll try to get you guys bread. But like I said, there's a line and I want to stand up in the line. Like I'll talk to my manager. I come back. They're complaining that their tea is too sweet. Whatever. I get them a new tea. Still, we want more bread. I'm like, I understand you guys want more bread. We just don't have any right now. I'm so sorry. They're probably not going to get another basket. Finally, I tell the manager, I'm like, they're getting kind of rude about the bread. Can you just go wait up there? So she goes and waits up there. The manager of the restaurant is waiting up there for this bread for this table to get their second basket. They get their second basket. They eat it immediately. They get their second basket while they're eating their food. Their food doesn't take that long. So, they get their bread in a decent time. They order a to-go food. I give them their to-go order. They're like, where's the bread? I'm like, the bread for what? And in my to-go order, I'm like, to-go orders are not guaranteed bread. Like if we have it, we're going to give it to you. Do you want to wait for it? Because it's going to be a long time. Yeah, we want to wait for it. Like we got a to-go order. Like why do all these tables get bread and we don't? And I'm like, these other tables haven't had any. You've already had 2 baskets and you're being so rude waiting for another one. And I send my manager over there again because I tell her, I'm like, listen, I am at the point where I don't have the emotional capacity to deal with them. And I don't have the emotional capacity to deal with them. And I'm going to get rude. And I had a week a couple months ago where I was getting really rude with people because they come off to, they come at me nasty, and I don't have the energy to hold back and not come back with them, if you know what I mean. But that's really not what I like to do. That's not who I want to be. I want to radiate joy. I want to radiate happiness. And I want to pass on. I have an opportunity in my job to spread joy and happiness. And that's what I like to do. But these people are just, you can't please them. They're like one of those. And I keep sending my manager over there because I don't get paid enough to deal with them at this point. And I'm busy. Like I said, I got other tables who also want bread. And she's like, takes care of them. They're complaining about the ribs. They're not big enough, blah, 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 blah. So she deals with them. She takes the ribs off their meal because they're complaining, and you just want to make them happy. Usually when people complain like that, they're looking for something. Maybe it's not something free, but they're looking for something. And she's like, the bread is going to be a while because other tables need it. And that's kind of how we write the tables down. And that's how we make sure they all get it. She gets them bread. Their bill is $90. She takes off $20. They give me $1.96. Like that's, mind you, their food was good. Their drinks were full. They got 3 baskets of bread in total, and they were in and out in 40 minutes. So they didn't wait that long. They had a great experience overall when you compare it to my 8 top whose food took 40 minutes and they only got like 1 round of bread. You know what I mean? Like, you just put into perspective that you can't please these people, but some like that sat with me that night. And that doesn't happen all the time, but it is common. And, bad tippers, that's just part of the job. I just keep it moving. I have plenty of good people that tip me well. And you're just like, specific situations like that kind of just stick in my head. Cause it's like, bro, really? I just spent $500 at the vet today. I'm worried about my dog. My left leg keeps giving out because I got a baby that's sucking the life out of me. And I got to pay for your food because you just $100 bill and you gave me $2 on it. Like, really? Like, it's just like, because I'm already stressed, because I already have a lot going on, that just like bothered me. Normally I let it roll off my shoulders. I've been doing this for 9 years now. It's like, whatever, but something, you just take that home. And it's just like, really? So that's just a glimpse of, what it's like serving. Like I said, it's not all bad, or I wouldn't do this job. But can you imagine, like, you are that kind of person that you go around and you just spew nastiness, and you're passing on. Like, I was talking to a friend at that, and she's like, oh my God, that sucks. I said, I know, but I gotta like get it together. Like, I don't want this table's experience, how they treated me and what they left me to roll into my next table. They don't deserve, that's not their fault. But I always let them know, hey, I am so sorry. We're definitely still running behind on bread, but I promise I got you guys as soon as I can get it. And they're like, oh, okay, great. And I'm like, oh, thank God they're nice. Thank God they're nice. I don't know if I could do another mean table, but I don't get tables like that all the time. But there are people out there that just like to be rude. Like, they just pass negativity on, and they're mean to random strangers. And I am visibly pregnant, and she had a kid. So I know what I'm going through, sis. I know it's hard. And just, they have no compassion for people. And who knows, I like to say, I'll create a story in my head. I'll be like, maybe they just lost someone close to them, and that's why they're being so nasty. Maybe, they are going through something and I don't know about it, because you never know what people are going through. And maybe that's why they're miserable, and that's why they wanted to spew that negativity onto me. And I just look like a person that could use a little nastiness in her night, I guess. I don't know. But exactly, like, people like that are just unhappy and they want others to be happy. And that's kind of how negativity spreads. And you got to be the person to kind of stop it in its tracks and take a moment, breathe, which is what I did. I took a moment, I took a deep breath. I'm like, I got to let it go, because one, it's done. It's over with. They're gone. They're out of the building. The table is already cleaned off, ready for the next person. And the next person that comes in, what am I going to spew that onto them? No, they don't deserve that. It's not their fault. They don't know what happened. So let me just take a deep breath, let go of it, and, keep it moving. So, and that's what I did. And, I ended up having a good night. and I had another table said gave me there was like all these little girls, and they handed me money. They said, "Here for the baby," and it was 20% of their bill, which was still, it was $50 tip, but it was 20% of their bill, and it was just so sweet. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that I focus on. And it was just nice. It was nice to have that experience afterwards, because you're just, I am an emotional wreck right now. I always joke, I'm like, I'm emotionally unstable right now, okay? I can't control it. It's a joke. I can control my emotions. I don't blow up on people like that or anything, but, and it's just been an experience. But that, when it's hard for me to let stuff like that go. It's easy, but it's hard when you already have so much floating around in your head, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. You don't even know what I've been through today, lady. Like, the last thing I need is your $2. I'd rather you just be nice to me, really. I always tell that to people. I say, not everyone tips 20%, and that's fine. The people have their beliefs about it, whatever. There's plenty of really good tippers out there, but let's be nice. Let's be kind to people. Let's treat them with respect as a human being. I chose this job. Like I said, I'm not, I maybe I look at things differently, but I don't know. I just, like I said earlier, I like to pass joy and positivity. And why be in a customer service job if you don't have the opportunity to make someone's day, or just, I reach people that I'll probably never see again, people passing through. I do live in a big tourist area in Florida. So, these people are on vacation and they're passing through, and I have an opportunity to be kind to them, and it literally just passes on. Like, I'm nice to them, and then they're nice to the person at the store. And that's just kind of, I think, how it works. And I don't know. Someone said, make sure to remember them, make sure they get something real special if they ever come. I have a pretty decent memory. I do remember we do have a lot of repeated offenders, and you'd be like, oh, I don't want to serve them. They're so mean. So you can try to bargain with another server to trade it out. But I have said stuff like, what's wrong? What's going on? Like, what can I do? I told you guys I do manage part-time. So, on Fridays and every other Saturday, I manage, and I do interact with guests, and I have a good experience. Like, even if people are upset, generally you can turn them around and you can talk to them. And a lot of time they just want to be heard. Not everyone's looking for something free, but if something's wrong, there is an opportunity to make it better. And I'm just nice. That's literally it. I'm just listening to what they're saying. And how can I make it better? Like, can I get you something? Can I get you another one? You know what I mean? And I usually can always turn it around. I've only had like one or two people that were just truly unruly, and them you just can't give a lot of your energy to, because like you guys have been saying, they'll pull you down to their level. You can't make them happy. You guys know, how it goes. You know this story. So I totally get that, and I understand. And, it's definitely an experience, and I'm bartending tonight, and I had off yesterday because I wasn't able to work. So I'm excited to go back. Like I said, I love my job, and the pain that I've been feeling. Also, my job is a place that I can kind of be mindless. I've been doing it for so long. I can do it without thinking. So it's definitely a stress-free experience that I can not think about what's going on at home. And even though I'm taking care of myself, stress still pops up, and we just need to handle it as it comes. And that's what I'm doing. But it's nice to have a job where you can kind of escape, and it doesn't add to the stress. It doesn't add to the pain. But I definitely saw this week how I was physically struggling to work because of the pain and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, what if I couldn't work? Because one of my managers was joking, like, this might not be the job. You might be coming to an end. I'm like, no, I don't know what I would do if I didn't do this. I would be so bored. I have to work. Even if I have to cut back a lot, I still need to be able to work. My mind would go insane. I truly like my job. And someone said, how can anyone eat that much bread? You guys would be shocked. Like, I have had people, there's 4 pieces of bread in a basket. I have had people, I think the highest I've had is 5 baskets where like two people ate 5 baskets of bread. And it's amazing. I like, that's been my running total in my head, 5. And I'm just impressed. It's just impressive. And still eat their dinner. Well done. Well done. And I guess it's like a challenge. I don't know. It's it makes me laugh. It makes me smile thinking about that kind of stuff, because when Nick and I got married, I had a couple regulars that they were just so sweet. They loved hearing about it. They loved hearing about the wedding planning and everything like that. And they tipped me like $70 the day before the wedding. And I was just like, oh my God, you guys are so sweet. Like, they just wanted nothing but the best for us. And that's the kind of people that is really the kind of people that I get to know. And, I transferred to this store 3 years ago. And so these people have known me and have seen me get engaged, seen me get married, and now they see me pregnant, and they just love being a part of this experience. And I love doing nice things for them. So, and I've had this experience in all the Texas Roadhouses that I've worked at. And so, but those other people, you know how it goes. They are just, but I'm kind of ranting now about my job. I could go on and on about my job. So maybe one day we'll do a Texas Roadhouse special. I'll give you all the deets, share some recipes. I'm just kidding. But if you guys like this content, please subscribe to my channel. I have a stressful week, and I still wanted to get on here and do a live chat with you guys and share my experiences and just talk to you guys, see what's going on. But if you like it, let me know that you like it, and share with someone who might relate, and keep them coming, and I'll keep them coming if you guys keep coming back, basically. So I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.